Hey guys, what's up? My name is Michael. I'm a producer signed to Sony, and I do a lot of K-pop, J-pop, and sync licensing music. And today we're going to be diving into S.K.Y Studio's S.K.Y Keys. Huge shout out to Skyler Young for sending over a copy for me to review. I've had the plugin for around 2 weeks, and it's great. I've actually used it in almost every track I've started in the past couple of weeks. So this is the website for anyone interested. The plugin is currently $39 right now. I believe there is a coupon code kind of floating on Facebook and Instagram if you do see one of their ads. Definitely recommend buying it. It's great, honestly. Like, we're just going to kind of go through it. I'm going to play some sounds from it, going to give you my thoughts about it, as well as some cool things you can check out with it. So very nice. It's kind of like a mini contact library with a bunch of sounds that Skyler ended up resampling and then creating into custom instruments. We're going to open up Ableton here to can see the plugin in a second. Cool. So I got Ableton open here. This is S.K.Y Keys. So right now it's just S.K.Y Keys. There's one other audio track, but I'm just going to play through a couple presets just so you can hear kind of what it sounds like. Yeah, so honestly, like, great sounding instruments. Like, if we even just kind of scroll through, they honestly load in like half a second, which is amazing, right? I think for a lot of producers that are running with contact libraries, for the most part, load up very, very, very slow. And, you know, when you're kind of just sketching an idea and you want to get something down quickly, having a plugin that can just kind of scroll through different sounds fast is really important and a great way to make sure you're not losing that creative flow and can, you know, get the idea down as fast as possible. So the plugin is very simple. You have a preset tab right here that's organized into different sections based on the instrument type. You have the all section, which is basically all the instruments. I believe there's like 2,000 different instruments on here. I'm not really sure. I haven't really gone through all of them. Just got the plugin a couple weeks ago. So kind of just scrolling through just to see if there's any cool sounds. In addition to that, there is a favorite button. You can favorite different sounds to make sure that's easy for you to save for the future. And then finally, there is a drop down section. You can kind of make your own one-shot sampler. Ableton has like a sampler / simpler. This is kind of like their alternative if you want to try and test it out a little bit. Honestly, some great sounding things. We can go to acoustic and you can play some from here. Very nice sounding Rhodes. We can go to a grand piano right here. Yeah, honestly sounds great. We can go and adjust the attack right here. And then you can adjust the release here. Tone shift, I'm not exactly sure what it has been doing. Don't really play around with it too much when I'm just kind of scrolling through things, but let's give it a shot right here. So it sounds like it's kind of adding a filtery effect. Try reducing the range. I'm not sure if you can actually automate these effects though. Let me double check. Oh, you can. Okay, so it's right here, Tone Shaper. You can automate this, which is cool. There is no built-in LFO for this plugin, so it is a little unfortunate you can't do that, but Ableton, you can just add a Max for Live LFO to kind of change anything you want. Next, we have Reverse. This is another effect you can add on. You can adjust the start time and the end time right here. We're just going to kind of scroll over and see if we can make this shorter. Let's try 16th notes. And then let's try continuous. And then fade in. And then reduce the release time. You can adjust the length, obviously, here. So really cool way to add some more texture and kind of add a cool reverse sounding thing. Great for pads. So for example, if you had like a one-shot synth, you want to make a pad out of it, throw this on, great way to add that and add some more movement. Unfortunately, there isn't a way to, it's not great with one-shots. I think for something like this where it's like a harmonia, if we put this on reverse actually and play it, and then have continuous on, it's actually a little bit better. But it does sound like it is staying in the relative tempo, so it's not warping the track in a weird way based on the speed or the pitch of the note, which is nice to know. Let's go to vibrato next. Vibrato is going to be adding in a little bit of pitch dimension. Not bad. You know, I personally would limit the amount I'm using on this just to make sure that my stuff is kind of staying in key. But great way to kind of add a more wobbly, like old tune or old sounding effect to your track. Next we got filter, a basic filter. You can adjust the slope here. So either like a 6 dB or a kind of brick wall 24 dB or 12 and 24, I believe. Just kind of nice to have, you know. I don't believe you can actually change the order of the effects, which is a little unfortunate. But I mean, for the most part, it makes sense. And a lot of these you can just kind of apply outside. The only ones that I think you would end up using a lot is the tone shift for sure, maybe that vibrato, and then maybe the reverb. We're going to try that out last, the reverb real quick. Turn the mix up a lot. There's actually a high quality section here. You can click and toggle that off and on if you want. I don't think the plugin is using even that much. Yeah, there's like no latency. So like I would just keep it on high quality for the most part. And then finally, there's a secret effect here that is saturation. It's just a flame you can click on and drag up and down. This is going to be with basically no saturation here. And this is with a ton. So always nice to have kind of a built-in, quick and easy fix for adding in any sort of color to your sound. Up here, you can transpose the octaves and go up or down depending on what you need. Stereo on and off if you want to make the sound mono. And then overlap is the poly or mono mode. So monophonic and polyphonic. So if you want to make sure that it's mono, I'm pressing 3 notes right now and it's only doing 1. And if you click on, you can do chords. So great way to do that and great easy fix. It is important to know that this does switch per pad and per instrument you are using. So definitely double check that if you can't play chords for some reason. You can lock it here. That's if you just don't want to mess with the settings anymore, which makes sense. You can save settings to the sound, which is cool as well. I don't believe you can save presets. So like, for example, if I go here and then change this a little bit and then save sound, I'm actually not sure. Let's try saving it now. And let's try going to a different one. So it does save to that patch, but you can't save new patches, which I think hopefully he'll add in the future, especially for this drag and drop section. Would love to add more custom patches and like go through an effect. Like, if I wanted to change this, add more attack, shift it down, reverse it. We can do that real quick just to see if we can get something cooler. If I want to save that, there's no way to save it, unfortunately. So would love a way to add custom presets and adding that to a different section where it's like user presets. Should be an easy fix for him to add to the future. Honestly, great plugin. I've been using it for pretty much every track. I'm going to actually open a track that I've been working on just to kind of showcase like how I've been using it. I'm going to open that in 1 second here. Sweet. Okay, so we do have this. Okay. What is happening? Okay, so we do have this cool different idea that I started a couple days ago. I'm going to play a couple sections here as well as highlight any of the moments that I am using S.K.Y keys and the preset we're going through. So just to kind of give you a vibe, we're going to play the quick section right here. So this is honestly like I would say 90% of the keys are all from S.K.Y keys. We have this kind of plucky guitar thing right here. If I unfilter it. I think I froze this because I was planning on reversing it, but it didn't end up working. But I think it's just one of the guitar presets on there. Next we have Contact, which is not S.K.Y keys, so we're not going to look at that one. Next we got this other one right here. Very simple kind of RAMZOID with a vibrato function on it. It's great. It fills up so much of the space and it kind of fills up that like low mid gap that I would need. Next we have this different, actually the clean thumb piano right here. So very simple sound, but it's great because it's plucky, it does the job, and it's not very CPU intensive, which is really important and really nice for a track like this where we have basically 90 instruments and we are not done with it yet. So a great way to make sure we're adding all that in without introducing too much latency. Next, for the main synths, we have these. Nice kind of like old school like Juno analog synth sound. This is like just a preset. Like if we scroll to like idle again. Just a preset. I think we move it up a little bit so the start time is a little bit earlier. But yeah, it's very basic, very simple. It's layered with this other element right here, which is the vocal pluck. And they're kind of in context with each other. Very simple. I don't even think we're adding in any sort of automation or anything. It's basically just playing the chords, but they sound great. It's one of those things where it's like very, very simple sounds, but you can use them as building blocks for other parts of the song and other sections of the track. I'm just trying to see if there's any other parts where we are using S.K.Y keys. Maybe this part. Okay, so this is basically just like a super saw, but it is playing an orchestra chip. But that's just filling up a lot of the space in the chorus. I can play the chorus right here for a second to give you context. I think I'm just using it more of like a background pad to just fill up all that gaps. Yeah, I mean, this idea literally just started with like this thing. And then just layering it up with 4 or 5 different instruments to get this. Yeah, I can't stress enough how cool the plugin is and how great it sounds just out of the box without having to really change anything around, right? You know, as a producer that's just trying to like, you know, I try to do like 4 or 5 ideas every week. This is great because I can just kind of scroll through presets, find something that's cool, lay something down immediately. And then I can go back in and kind of like adjust if I need to, and then add in anything from like Omnisphere, Contact, or Serum that I might think it needs later on. But good way to kind of build off a building block type instrument. There's a wide variety of different things you can get. There's a lot of plugin instruments. There is a lot of more chord-based things. There's a lot of different pads, but just a lot you can kind of just scroll through and have fun with. Honestly, like I was deciding between S.K.Y keys and Zenology. Zenology is plugin, I think, by Roland that kind of is the same kind of concept where it's a very simple plugin, but it had just a bunch of presets you can scroll through. But Zenology is a subscription plan, so that's why I haven't used it yet. S.K.Y keys is like $29 and you get basically a ton of sounds you'll probably never go through all at once, and it'll definitely can give you looking forward to scrolling through on the future. It's great, honestly. Like, really cool company, really cool plugin. I just want to use it on more ideas because it's like I'm even just scrolling through presets, I'm like, wow, that's really cool. Like, I can definitely use that in a track I was working on a month ago because it really fills in that gap or fills in that need. It saves you time too. It's like, you know, anyone can go download a bunch of like vintage synths and vintage one shots, but it's like it's a lot easier if they're just all built into a rack for you and has like, you know, effects and different attack and release times and things that are already dialed in to just like make your life easier, right? Because obviously if you want to, you can find all these one shots somewhere, you know, add them into a simple or a sampler and make your own instruments. But you got to ask yourself, is that going to be faster than just having a plugin like this where you can kind of just scroll through, find something, and then apply it immediately? So that's worth considering. Again, shout out Skyler. Thank you so much for sending a copy over. Highly recommend you guys check this plugin out. It's one of the best ones I have tried out in a while because of its versatility, as well as the fact that like it's cheap and it gets the job done. So always worth investing back into your craft and making sure that you have the plugins that can make music the fastest, as well as getting you access to sounds that other people might not have. But thanks guys for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed. Now go check out S.K.Y keys today.